So today, the change we seek swept through Chesapeake and over the Potomac. We won the state of Maryland. We won the Commonwealth of Virginia. And though we won in Washington, D.C., this movement won't stop until there's change in Washington, D.C. And tonight we're on our way. Tonight we're on our way. But we know how much further we have to go. We know it takes more than one night or even one election to overcome decades of money and the influence, the bitter partisanship and petty bickering that shut you out, let you down, told you to settle. We know our road will not be easy, but we also know that at this moment, the cynics can no longer say that our hope is false. We have now won east and west, north and south, and across the heartland of this country we love. We have given young people a reason to believe, and we have brought the young at heart back to the polls who want to believe again. We are bringing together Democrats and independents, and yes, some Republicans. I know this. You know, I meet them when I'm shaking hands afterwards. There's one right there, an Obamacan, that's what we call them. They whisper to me, they say, "Barack, I'm a Republican, but I support you." And I say, "Thank you." We're bringing Democrats, independents, Republicans, blacks and whites, Latinos and Asians and Native Americans, small states and big states, red states and blue states, all into the United States of America. That's our project. That's our mission. This is the new American majority. This is what change looks like when it happens from the bottom up. And in this election, your voices will be heard, because at a time when so many people are struggling to keep up with soaring costs in a sluggish economy, we know that the status quo in Washington just won't do. Not this time. Not this year. We can't keep playing the same Washington game with the same Washington players and somehow expect a different result, because it's a game that ordinary Americans are losing. We are going to put this game to an end. It's a game where lobbyists write check after check, and Exxon turns record profits, while you pay the price at the pump, and our planet is put at risk. That's what happens when lobbyists set the agenda, and that's why they won't drown out your voices anymore when I am President of the United States of America. It's a game where trade deals like NAFTA ship jobs overseas and force parents to compete with their teenagers to work for minimum wages at the local fast food joint or at Walmart. It's what happens when the American worker doesn't have a voice at the negotiating table, when leaders change their positions on trade with the politics of the moment. And that is why we need a president who will listen not just to Wall Street, but to Main Street. A president who will stand with workers, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. And that's the kind of president I intend to be when I'm president of the United States of America. It's a game where Democrats and Republicans fail to come together year after year after year, while another mother goes without health care for a sick child. That's why we have to put an end to the divisions and distractions in Washington so that we can unite this nation around a common purpose, around a higher purpose. It's a game where the only way for Democrats to look tough on national security is by talking and acting and voting like Bush-McCain Republicans, while our troops are sent to fight tour after tour of duty in a war that should have never been authorized and should have never been waged. That's what happens when we use 9/11 to scare up votes instead of bringing together the people around a common purpose. And that's why we need to do more than end the war. We need to end the mindset that got us in the war. And that's the choice in this primary. It's about whether we choose to play the game or whether we choose to end it. It's change that polls well or change we can actually believe in. It's the past versus the future. It's about whether we're looking backwards or whether we're marching forward. And when I'm the Democratic nominee for president, that will be the choice we have in November. Understand this. John McCain, the likely Republican nominee, is an American hero. And we honor his service to our nation. We honor his service, but his priorities don't address the real problems of the American people because they are bound to the failed policies of the past. George Bush won't be on the ballot this November. George Bush won't be on this ballot. My cousin Dick Cheney won't be on this ballot.